Okay, well, hello, Corinne.
Hello
You
there.
came in all the way from Barbados,
Barbados.
which, as an American, I have no idea where that is.
It's the very
I'm
bottom of
kidding.
the Caribbean.
I'm
See?
kidding. I'm kidding.
As a West Coast person, we probably don't know where it is. 'Cause people from the West Coast don't go to the Caribbean.
So it's cold here.
It's cold
You're
here.
okay? You're all right? So thank you for coming. We're just taking a few impressions, not even necessarily the largest or biggest or greatest memories, because that's too much pressure, but do you have a memory or a story you can tell us about Ula that you recall?
Sure. I have a couple. Since we lived in Seattle and they lived in the Bay Area, we didn't get to see them all that much. But one time I clearly remember as we were up in Seattle for our best of ours funeral, for Farfar's funeral, and we got in a little bit of trouble at that time because the cousins were all together having a blast, and we had pop rocks.
I love Pop Rocks.
And we had pop rocks in our mouth, not during the funeral, but around the service time. And Uncle Ole and Uncle Sven, my dad Sven, let us know that we were very disrespectful, but we couldn't help it. We were kids having a good time. And as I was coming from Barbados through the Miami airport, I saw some Pop Rocks in the airport, so I bought some and have them with me.
Awesome.
So if you see this in time, we can go hit some Pop Rocks sometime. Another thing I remember about him is
That's great.
I remember listening to him, and he'd be speaking English to me, but I wouldn't even recognize it sometime. I wouldn't be paying attention because I think he'd be speaking Norwegian.
Right? Okay, it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
then it's like, oh, okay, wait, he's speaking to me and he's speaking English, so I better pay attention. And he always was interested in what I did and my travels and where I was going, and I appreciated that.
Yeah. Did you ever come down and just visit just you? Or was it always the family?
No, we would come and I would sit there. I remember one of the last times sitting in the living room, listening to stories of his, slow stories, as
Slow,
you
right?
just
Okay.
mentioned.
Thank you.
And then they kind of didn't even end. They would just roll right into the next
Right.
one, and you're like, missed my chance. So then you listen to another.
Missed your chance to get out.
Yeah,
Yes.
missed your chance to
Yes.
get out.
Yes,
So you
yes.
just listen again, and it's wonderful to hear these stories. He talked about. We talked about, I think, the Panama Canal and
Everywhere
or
he
El
went.
Salvador, or
Right.
places I don't even remember, unfortunately, but places that he went, and
He did a lot of traveling.
Barbados. Maybe I knew I was going to Barbados, and he talked about that, talked about the Caribbean. So, but it kept going on and on.
I'm sure he had been there. Yes. Yes.
I'm sure he had.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure he would be deeply touched that you were able to come and make it.
That I brought Pop Rocks.
Well, the Pop Rocks maybe
Yeah.
we can do after the ceremony, or today, but not during.
Yeah. See, dads, they're the same. They're the same.
Well, it's funny because I was thinking, I told a couple of the kids, the new generation of cousins, if you will, that they need to sort of be on their best behavior
Absolutely.
tomorrow, and not let each other, push each other's buttons, if you will,
Right.
because we don't want to have any of that nonsense.
I agree.
But if somebody brought out Pop Rocks on their own,
How could you say no?
there'd be a certain amount of humor to it, right?
We'll see.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, I remember, let's see, I think I was probably 5, 6 at the house in Seattle with my, both my sisters. We called it the Pinewood House, just a little house. And I opened the door one time, and there's a knock on the door. I opened it, and there was this big man that said, "Paper boy." And I just looked at him, took the paper, and closed the door. And he knocked and laughed. I opened it again, he laughed, and Uncle Ole. I'm like, oh, sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know who it was. I didn't recognize him. He looked like some big man that looked kind of like my dad. It's my daddy. It's my uncle. So that's one memory I have. Yeah. And that's all.